Bakery. Welcome back this week. This week I'm going to be showing you how to make a lemon curd and a triple lemon cake. And hopefully we can get that done and you can make one yourself at home just in time for Easter. So stay tuned. Okay, we're back, and today's recipe for the lemon curd, we're going to have to make that first. And between the lemon curd and the lemon cake, this recipe is going to call for 5 tablespoons of loosely packed, finely grated lemon zest, and then about a half a cup plus 2 tablespoons of lemon juice as well. And with the channel grater for a garnish, it wants you to make lemon curls with this channel zester and out of 2 lemons and use that for a garnish. That is optional. You don't have to have that, as you'll see later. But then let's get on with it, and we will get this lemon zest, lemon juice all made up and prepped, and then we'll move on to the lemon curd. Back, and I've got the lemons zested and juiced and everything. And the first thing in this triple lemon cake recipe is the lemon curd, and we're going to make it from scratch. Now, you can buy lemon curd in the store already pre-made. Nobody's going to fault you for that. All right, but this is just how you make homemade lemon curd. And it's got 3/4 of a cup, I think, half a cup of lemon juice, a 1/4 cup of butter, 3 tablespoons of lightly packed and finely grated lemon zest, 3/4 cup of sugar, and 6 egg yolks, and a pinch of salt. And then I'm just going to go ahead and melt the butter, and then I'm going to add some of these ingredients, and then add the eggs back to it, and then cook it until it is thickened enough that it forms a coating on the back of a wooden spoon. Back. We've got our lemon curd in the fridge cooling off. That's going to be the filling in between the layers of our cake. It's going to cool down to nice cool temperature, so that's why we did that first. And we're going to go ahead and make the frosting now, because the frosting can sit in a cool room temperature for hours. So we'll get that out of the way, and then we'll get started on the cake mix. But for the frosting for this particular cake, I said there's lemon curd in between the layers, but on the top and on the sides, frosting is going to be some butter, lemon zest, powdered sugar, and lemon juice. And I'll put those amounts and quantities in the video and an overlay. So I'm going to just put this stuff up. I'm using my KitchenAid. I'm going to use a balloon whisk attachment this time. And that's fine. If you have a regular just hand mixer at home, that's fine. You use about a medium speed on that, and then ramp it up as necessary. But powdered sugar will coat everywhere. So when we get to that stage of it, I'll put this in batches. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this back in time-lapse mode, so you don't have to listen to that thing. It's very loud, and I'll be back after that. Okay, we're back, and now we're going to start doing the cake part of this triple lemon cake recipe. We're we're going to just sift together the dry ingredients here. I'm using cake flour and some baking powder and some salt, and just sifting it together. And I would recommend spending the extra money on some cake flour here. Cake flour doesn't have as strong or as much protein in it as say strong white flour, bread flour, any of that type stuff. Now there are substitutions I think for cake flour that call for using bread flour and I don't know, baking soda or something like that. But I really wouldn't recommend that. The protein content's too much, and it will give you a chewier kind of cake. And this cake flour is made for cakes, and it will give you a lighter crumb, something that you know you're used to, and it will feel really good in the mouth. And just if you don't have cake flour and you don't want to spend the extra money, you know, go with an AP flour or something that's not as high in protein. And so we get these ingredients here sifted together, and then of course we'll cream our butter and some of our lemon zest. Now the recipe I used actually calls for taking the lemon zest and a little bit of the butter and putting it in a stand mixer here and pulsing it until it combines. Well, I did that one time and I ended up etching the sides of my mixer. It just etches the heck out of this acrylic, so I don't do that anymore. So now I just mix it in the mixer until it's well incorporated, and I'm done with that. Then we'll add a little bit of milk, okay, with the sugar. We'll cut the sugar into the butter mixture after it's done. Add a little bit of milk, then alternate between flour and milk until we've got everything incorporated. And we'll do that 3 times. And we'll start with a dry, actually 3 dries and 2 wets. So we start with dry, well, wet, then dry, then wet, and then dry. We want to always end the cake on a dry, okay? So we're adding a little bit of milk in the beginning just to incorporate it with the milk and with the butter and sugar and lemon zest. And then we'll add some dry, and then wet, and then dry, and then finally wet and dry for a final time. Always end on your dry ingredients. Now the recipe also called for 2 8-inch buttered and floured cake pans. I looked around, I've got 10-inch, I've got 6-inch, I've got 8-inch, I've got 9-inch. I don't have 2 8-inch, I've got like 4 9s, but anyway, I decided I'm just gonna use 9s. And what that will mean for me in the end is it will be a thinner cake than the 8s, obviously, which means it will be less baking time in the oven. And that's really only about it. I will put this in the time lapse again, so you can see me incorporate all this together, and we'll be back when it's ready to bake off. Oh, also, before I forget, there are egg whites here. When I separated the eggs from the egg yolks, I needed 6 egg yolks for the lemon curd, and I needed 5 egg whites for this dish. The egg whites are going to be whisked up to a stiff peak, and they'll be folded into the batter to lighten the cake batter up when I'm done. And that worked out great because, you know, that way I only had to waste 1 egg white, and you know, you can make something with that if you'd like to. But this is why another reason this recipe works really well together if you make your own curd, because those egg yolks are not going to go to waste. So anyway, back to time lapse, and I'll be back with you guys after that. Thanks. Okay, we're back, and the cakes here are out of the oven, as you can see, and browned off in the oven, and we've got our frosting that I made earlier here. This is the lemon curd that we made first, And now all we have to do is to assemble this thing together. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to slice these two in half horizontally, and this will end up being a 4-layer cake, okay? If I would have used the 8-inch rounds, that would have made a nice, tall, really pretty cake. When they're tall like that, they turn out to be like showstoppers. But trust me, even with this one being a little shorter and wider, it's still going to be quite a looker and delicious as well. So you can do this by hand, or you can use a guide if you want to. But just you let the knife do the work. You know, drag the knife back and forth and let it do the work. All right, don't try to force anything. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, you know. All right, same thing with this one. Just go around, letting the knife do your work. And don't worry about the crumbs. There is a solution for that. All right, so what we'll do is we're going to start with one of these. And we're going to try it face up. Okay. Got a rotating cake decorating dish here. It's not the best one. I want another one. This one wobbles too much. But in any case, this is where our lemon curd comes in. Okay. That's quite a bit of lemon curd on the plastic. Anyway, so we're going to take about a third of this lemon curd. Spread it over this layer of the cake. Edge to edge. Nothing on the sides. It's just it'll soak into the cake a little bit, and it will give it quite a flavor enhancement because this lemon curd is powerful. All right, and then the next layer is going to be the same way with the cut side facing up. All right, another third, or about half of what you got left. Okay. Another layer upside down. And this is where I'm going to use the rest of the lemon curd here. And if I didn't mention it before, I did buy organic lemons for this. And you know, normally, no, I would not buy organic lemons. I think organic stuff is expensive. But when something is the feature of your dish, whether it's something you're cooking or something you're baking, in this case, this is a triple lemon cake. So lemon is the feature. We want to go ahead and spend a little bit of extra money and get a good quality ingredient, okay? Like I said before, the cake flour or whatever, if you have to skip on that, you know, fine. But let's spend a little extra money on the lemons. It wasn't that much difference. And I think I ended up getting like 10 lemons in all. Now, the last layer, and I could have picked a prettier one, but whatever. It's going to go on right side up. Like I said, don't worry about any crumbs or anything like that. We're going to take care of that, okay? Okay. Now the last one goes up because we're going to frost it. But we're going to provide or do what's called a crumb coat. And the crumb coat is what it sounds like. It's a coating of frosting or icing that we'll put on the cake. It's very thin, and then once we put it in the refrigerator and refrigerate it, it will firm up, and then we'll be able to put the rest of the frosting on without worrying about any of the crumbs coming off. So this is going to be very thin, and if there are crumbs, don't worry about it. This is not the final coating. So wants to tear there. And again, just a thin coating. And this will go in the refrigerator for about a half an hour. And when it comes out, that frosting will be set up, and then we'll get a good surface to work with. And this is going to do it here. It doesn't have to be perfect. We just want a layer of icing to lightly coat the cake. All right, so I'll put this thing in the fridge, and then we'll be back in about a half hour, or in no time with the magic of movies, and we will finish decorating this triple lemon cake. See you in about a half hour. Hi, welcome back. The cake here has been in the fridge for about half hour, and you can notice it is pretty much set up. I mean, this thing is, you know, firm to the touch, so now I don't have to worry about these crumbs coming off when I decorate it. It may have shifted a little bit, or it shifted a little bit earlier, I noticed, but I can try to move that up over as I work on it. But I'm going to do this last part here. I'm going to do it in high speed. I'll be using these. Using this, maybe this, the smaller one, and of course this I'll use for the sides. And then I'll stop it again, and we'll come back and I'll show you how to put the decorations on at the very end. And that should be it. Okay, well, we're back. Got the cake iced, and now we're just gonna put some decoration on the top. Remember earlier when I said with the channel zester, we were going to make these lemon curls, and let's see if the channel zester is not anyway. Okay. Anyway, but I just used the channel zester and cut out these curls, and I put them on a paper towel and lightly, you know, it's a damp paper towel, and I covered them up, and then they keep and curl up a little bit, and we'll just use them to go on the top of the cake. And this is, you know, it's more than just decoration, okay? People like to know what they're eating, and without even guessing, when you walk up to this cake and see the lemon on top, you will know right away that it's flavored with lemon. So, serves two purposes. Makes it look pretty, and it lets people know what to expect in the cake. Okay, and again, we're not going for perfection. Okay, this is how to bake at home. Okay. And then I've got these white sprinkles. You can get them at like craft shops or whatever. You know, any place that carries like good baking stuff. These are just white sugar pearls, and we add these a few of these to the top, make it look a little more elegant. And of course, some are going to roll off. No big deal. That's why I've got a robot vacuum cleaner. And then once you're happy with it, I mean, you can stop anytime. And I'm going to stop there and leave it at that. And we'll get some photos of this puppy and cut it. Of course, I'm going to transfer this. Of course, I will be transferring this to a cake stand. And that's when you get one of these. Now, normally I would have put this entire cake onto cardboard cutout, made specifically for what I'm doing right now, so that you don't have any of these little corrections to make at the end. But we work with what we've got, right? Don't have everything, so we work with what we've got. And it still makes a beautiful cake when it's done. And the fact that it's not perfect makes it look more homemade. We'll call it rustic. That seems to be the word du jour. So, all right, that's a triple lemon cake with lemon curd filling and lemon frosting. And we're gonna cut into this bad boy and give it a taste here in just a few minutes. Hi, this is Troy Elliter with Eller's Best Bakery. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of how to bake at home with the triple lemon cake recipe that we prepared. It's a very popular recipe with any of my clients or old friends. Anybody that's had this cake, they come back always asking for this cake over and over again. It's the #1 cake I make for anybody. So now you know how to make it at home, and you can do it for yourself. Normally for Eller's Best Bakery, we are putting out videos every Monday at 7 p.m. Next week is Easter. I'm not sure if we'll be doing a video for that. If we do, I'll put it in the announcements on Eller's Best, and you can follow us on any channel. Just look for at Eller's Best. We're pretty much on every social media platform out there for updates. And please click like and subscribe to this video. That really makes a difference. And just liking the video isn't enough. You have to click that little bell, and that way you'll get notifications, and it'll let me know that you're a weekly subscriber. And you can leave comments, and then I can get back to you. Maybe you can leave suggestions in the comment section on what you would like to see me bake at home, and then I'll take those suggestions and try to incorporate them into the schedule. So again, this is Troy Elliter with Eller's Best Bakery. This is our triple lemon cake how to at home series, and we'll see you guys in a week or two. Have a great week.